to What's the QuaranTEA. My name's Allison Gupton, and I am here with my sister-in-law and a doctorate of psychology and a very smart woman, and I love her so much because she's my sister. This is Olivia Gupton.
Hello.
Dr. Olivia Gupton. We are going to talk a little bit about mental health during quarantine.
I do have a doctorate in psychology, which just means that I went to school for a really, really long time. I currently work for a state psychiatric hospital, and I am also, more importantly, Camden's aunt.
Yes, most importantly on the resume.
Yes, that's the top of my resume. So I work with individuals who have mental illness ranging from depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, all of that. So you guys might be wondering, why in the world am I on DanceFest? On top of that, I also am a dance teacher. I grew up as a competitive dancer, grew up in the competition dance world. I grew up at Christine School of Dance. Shout out to Christine, love ya.
Right.
Currently teach at Studio Dance Inc. in Dallas, Georgia, under Kristen Cynical, and I've been there for, oh my gosh, this is my 11th year.
I was going to say 10 years or something.
11, yeah, it's my 11th year.
Crazy.
So I've been teaching there for a very long time. So Allison asked me to come on and talk a little bit about mental health during quarantine, specifically for dancers. I know this is a really difficult time for everybody, especially for those of us who can't be in the studio, which is like our second home, and for a lot of us is therapy.
Exactly.
And so just wanted to cover a couple things that I think are important specifically for dancers during this unique time. We've never dealt with anything like this before. Hopefully we never will again.
Exactly.
So the first couple things I wanted to address are just overall how to deal with mental health during this time. We might feel really disconnected. Most of us are used to seeing people every single day, interacting with people, seeing our dance friends, being at dance, and that's not happening right now.
Right.
Some of you may be doing Zoom classes. Some of you may not be doing Zoom classes. So the first thing I would say is try and keep up some type of schedule. You don't have to get right up at 7 a.m. every day, but I would recommend, trying to get up around the same time every day, keeping some type of schedule. If you're still in school, try to get your schoolwork done during the normal hours. For those of you dancers that are used to dancing pretty much every day, you don't have to have a full-blown dance class every day, but try and get some type of activity in. One thing that's great about this time is that we have a lot of access to resources. So there's no reason why you can't be taking live classes. There's so many out there, so many. Props to all of the wonderful teachers that have been offering free classes. I mean, thank you so much. We have really talented people. I know I saw Travis Wall did
Debbie
some
Allen.
I'm sorry?
Debbie Allen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like so much. So many people are doing classes.
Exactly.
Classes that even if we weren't in a quarantine, you wouldn't be able to get for free. So now they're for free. Try and find an area in your house that's kind of your dance area. That might be difficult. One thing that I've tried to remind people is right now there's so many things that are outside of our control that we can't do anything about.
Right.
However, there are a lot of things that we can do. So we can't necessarily go to the studio and have our normal classes, but we can still dance. You can dance anywhere. I do it all the time. I dance in my car. I dance in my bathroom. I dance all the time. We're a dance family. If you know us,
Understatement of the year.
What?
Understatement of the year. We literally dance parties all the time.
Minus my brother, your husband. Actually, you know what? He'll even dance sometimes too. We're dancing. We're just a dancing family.
Exactly.
And you can dance anywhere. Also, take this time to really explore your style. No one's watching you.
Right.
Nobody. This is rare. Do improv, and you can even record yourself doing it and look back and be like, oh, wait, I liked that. I didn't like that. If you don't have access to mirrors. But also just use this time to find your own style.
It's great.
I know Brian did a wonderful video that I watched about turns, and he talked a lot about the basics of turns. Most of you don't have Marley or any type of floor in your home that you can turn on. So work on those basics. Conditioning builds a strong dancer. Go back to the foundation. Make sure you're getting that core work in. Do some floor bar, do some exercises at home that will help strengthen. There's not a lack of resources. So
right.
There's so many resources out there. So go back to those basics, and work with what you have. I think another big part of mental health, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, my dance studio was my home and my dance friends were my family. So stay connected with them. Again, use technology, use the internet. Maybe you guys can, with your company members or whoever, do like a weekly 45-minute FaceTime. Check in with them. I know our studio, Studio Dance Inc., we've developed a private page so that we're all able to keep connected. We post videos there, just all kinds of stuff. And it's nice to see people, even if it's just through the internet. I know as teachers have done some FaceTime dates and plan on doing more things with the girls. So stay connected. Other thing, keep rehearsing. If you're doing competition, keep rehearsing your competition pieces. We don't know when this thing's going to end. If you didn't get to compete this year, maybe you'll use those dances next year. So keep rehearsing all your dances. Don't forget them. Totally. And there's also online competitions too, that I saw. Those are really cool. Sorry if I keep glancing down. I have notes. So keep rehearsing your dances. Don't forget them. Work on your technique. This is a great time to do those things. And the other thing is, I want you guys to remember or remind you how much your studio owners and dance teachers are doing. If you're doing Zoom classes, oh my gosh, thank your teachers. Okay. It's a lot of work.
So much work.
So say a big thank you to them when you get back. Use this time to sit down, and I would encourage all of you dancers to sit down at least, ideally once a day, but if not, a couple times a week, and write down what you're grateful for. This is a time where we can get in a really negative mindset. It's easy to stay in bed and snack all day and feel sad, and it's okay to do that every now and then. But also remind yourself what you're grateful for, because right now we don't have a lot. So think about it. What are you grateful for? And I would even encourage you, send those to your dance teachers. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. Think about, all the things that go into a dance season. And, be thankful for those things and write them down and remind yourself. Write down some goals that you have. So if for kind of more beginner dancers, if you're like, man, I just really want to get my splits, spend 30 minutes a day stretching and get those splits. Yeah. Or, if you're a more advanced dancer, work on those things, work on balancing. You don't need a studio to do those things.
Exactly.
Write down your weaknesses, and I would encourage you to work on those. It's really cool to post on Instagram all your cool leg tricks and keep doing it. However, when you're not on Instagram Live, go work your weaknesses. Now is the perfect time to do that. We have nothing but time. Work your weaknesses. Because another thing is expectations. When you go back into the studio, it's not realistic. It is not a realistic expectation that everything you're just going to pick back up. We've been gone for a significant amount of time. Right. So when you get back, show yourself some grace and compassion. So don't say things like, oh, great, I'm going to look awful today. Or, man, look at all the weight I've put on. No. We're going to have positive self-talk, right? So show yourself some grace. And on top of that, use this time to your advantage so that when you do go back to the studio, you're not significantly far behind, right? And if you be able to do 6 turns and the first day you come back, you only do 5, that's okay. That's normal. You're a human and it's okay. Right. And so show yourself that grace and have that positive self-talk. Some of you, for some of the older dancers, one thing with mental health and dance that we can't ignore is body image issues. Some of you might feel like you are gaining a little bit of weight or you're not as toned. That doesn't mean that you're not a good dancer. Right. One rule I have with my dancers is that if we have negative self-talk, so say they're trying on their competition costume and I hear one of them say, "Ugh, I don't like the way this looks on me." I stop everything and you have to say 3 things that you like about yourself. And I always tell them, don't say things to yourself that you wouldn't appreciate somebody else saying to you.
Right.
We need to talk to ourselves the way we want other people to talk to us.
Awesome.
Right?
I love that.
And the shape of your body doesn't make up who you are as a dancer. It's important to be healthy, but everybody has different body types. I know for myself, I'm not teeny tiny. Just like Alex, we're tall women.
Yeah, long legs.
So yes. And so that's okay. Again, it's normal. Still take care of your bodies, because our bodies are our instruments and our tools, and we want to fuel them. But guess what? If you want to have some cupcakes, it's okay. Do it, girl. Eat that cupcake.
Do you have any advice for the seniors?
My heart breaks for you guys. We have several seniors at our studio, a couple that I've taught since I've been there, and I honestly, it's okay to be sad. It makes me emotional thinking about it. These are girls that I've grown up with, and two in particular, I'm thinking of. One's graduating and one's a junior, and I set probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever set that you were gracious enough to cut the music for. They only got to compete it once. They got platinum in first place. Good job, girls. But I don't know that they'll get to do that dance again, and that's not one that will recycle. And we all think about that moment as being a senior. It's so special. And we don't know what's going to happen. They've missed out on a lot. And and I apologize. I keep saying girls. We don't have any boys in our older company, so I need to be saying everybody.
Dancers. Yeah.
It's okay to be sad. This is really sad. You have been robbed of something, and I think people are trying to do what they can. But nothing's going to bring this time back, and it is okay to be sad. Yeah. And it's okay to be sad.
Yeah, it's okay not to be okay.
It is so okay not to be okay. Talk to your other seniors. And I would also encourage you, nothing will replace what you've lost, but maybe try and find ways to, and if you're not a senior, find a way to celebrate those seniors. We do a senior slideshow, still do that for them. Try and find ways to really still celebrate and appreciate them. This is a scary time in everybody's life, but a really scary time is graduating high school and going to college. And I can't imagine what that must be like with all the unknowns.
Right.
So yeah. And keep in mind that this year is so significant. And I hate it that it's not going the way that they wanted it to, or that we wanted it to, but that doesn't take away from all the other wonderful years that you've had. And that the memories that you have at your studio are still going to be there. And even though this year may not hold the memories that you wanted it to, you still have all of those other memories, and you are still so loved and so valued, and you have so many wonderful things ahead of you. And you can be excited, and you can also still be sad. I would encourage all of you who are not seniors, do something special for your senior dancers. You would want that for you. So let's make them feel loved, because I know some of them haven't been able to go to prom, or, may not be able to walk at graduation. And I know people mean well, they keep saying, oh, well, the graduation, that doesn't take away. It's a big deal. As somebody who's walked in a lot of graduations, all of them have been special to me. I've walked in 4, and they've all been important, but I don't know how many.
That's great.
Important. And yes, not being able to walk doesn't take away from what all you've accomplished, but it is a big deal. And I don't even care if you have your own ceremony at your house. Do whatever you need to do.
Yes.
To get through this time.
This has been so helpful. Thank you so much for coming on What's the QuaranTEA. I can't wait for people to see this, because I think it's so important. I really appreciate your time, and I love you.
All right, love you too. I'll talk to you probably later tonight.
Probably.